Okay, today we're looking at a new gun. So it is the Umarex Ruger Mark IV. So it's designed to look identical to the real firearm, 22 long rifle, the hunter version. You can tell by the barrel on this. And we're going to go ahead and show how it works. We're not going to really plink around with it. And then we'll do a quick comparison with the P17, and then we'll get a better look at it inside and talk about other matters. Okay, so with this, one thing I have to say coming right out of the box, it doesn't have an anti-bear trap. So when you cock this, make sure you get it all the way down and you know it's cocked. So it's in that position right there. I actually had to get away from me one time, and it's been a long time since I've seen a brake barrel without an anti-bear trap. And so what happens, if your finger's right there, I've seen the injuries when people put their finger in that breech area right here. I won't even do it. And they smashed up their fingers pretty good. Also, the main concern for me is it can damage the gun, it can damage the barrel, damage the breech. So it got away from me one time and I didn't let it happen again. So just understand that, make sure it's cocked all the way. There is no anti-bear trap. Okay, so we're going to use rapid speed. This is my favorite pellet for this gun. It's very good in low power guns, and it's really good in this one. So, alright, so we're just going to load it up, and so we put it in the breech there, close it up, and it's got an automatic safety right there. So then we click that off, aim at the bush, and now let's compare that real quick to the P17. We're just going to bring this one in, so it is a competitor with the P17. It doesn't have it beat, and we'll talk more about that later. But okay, so now let's look at how the P17 operates. The P17, you come over the top, okay, and then you put your, in this case, rapid speed in the breech, and then you close it up with the force coming in this way. And I've learned, don't put it too close to your shirt, you can catch your shirt in it. And you come up, and just a little bit more force. And this is where a lot of people struggle. I work out, so it's no big deal to me. A lot of people complain about closing it back up. It's got a beautiful trigger. Now listen to the difference in sound though. So automatic safety off, that's right here on this gun. So automatic safety off. Let's see what we got here. So now it's a little bit louder. So, but anyway, I really enjoy both these pistols. But let's go back in now and take a closer look at this one right here. Right, we'll go back in, and there's more to discuss. Okay, so we're back inside, getting a much clearer view of this gun. Okay, so again, it is based on the 22 long rifle Mark IV Hunter series. You can tell that by this barrel by Ruger, and they really went through a lot of work to make it the dimensions like the real one. And it has that classical German Luger grip on it, the handle, the pistol handle, and I just really like the way it sits in my hand. And when I showed the P17, it's not on that level. It is a struggle because of the trigger, and I'm being cordial. A lot of people are not nearly that nice. Like a lot of these Ruger guns, it has a very stiff return spring. That's part of it. Meaning that when you pull the trigger, it comes back. And so some people mod that. I'll provide a video for that. Go ask that gentleman how to do that. But here's my trick. Okay, for shooting offhand, this is about 6 or 7 yards. And you may say, with a rifle barrel and pellets, well, it's because of that. It's pretty stiff. So what do I use to get decent, pretty good offhand accuracy? Mostly shooting from arrest with this. Shooting from arrest just like you see me here. I usually shoot, offhand, I know I'm going to have a challenge with this. So the grip I use is the marksman grip. So for the pistol, the marksman has like the most hellacious trigger I've ever seen. But I learned on how to deal with that. So I use my forefinger, push against the trigger guard into my palm, And then as far as this trigger, it's stiff, is break it in. It needs about 200 shots. At about 100 shots, I was getting good shooting from a rest. Offhand, it was really, really challenging. At 200 shots, you know, you can get 6 to 7 yard accuracy. The P17 can easily do 10 offhand. So understand, at least from what I'm seeing, you know, I'm not saying you can't get better accuracy, but think about 6 or 7 offhand. With the rapid speeds, these guys right here, I opened that up to 13 yards from a rest. So from a rest, you can comfortably blanket cans. That's basically the type of accuracy you really should look at. We'll look at paper targets in a moment. And as far as care, I use ballistol, wipe it down, listen to RWS, use a needle nose with silicone, airgun grade silicone in there about every 1,000 shots. And I wipe it down. I clean off that breech area there and use RWS silicone on the breech seal. As far as cleaning out the barrel, remember always on a brake barrel from breech to muzzle, because you have easy breech access here, and only really for the factory grime, and then maybe a cleaning pellet every 500 to 1,000 shots. But let's look at the targets here. Okay, so the first set. Okay, so because of the trigger, I get wild shots to both sides if you don't pay attention. And in the first 100 shots, you just got to be patient. Okay, so that's 10 shots. So we got 3 wild. The red lines are the width of a can. All right, so not bad. So that's as things started to break in when I got past, you know, 100 shots. And then this is better. I only had 2 misses outside the can, outside the dimension of the can. Then I went 30 shots. And as you'll notice here, it was favoring the left side. And I confirmed it, so I did another 30 shots, and it definitely is grouping up tighter. And if you're wanting the ranges for this, this is measured 7 yards from the front of the gun, from a rest, from the front of the barrel. Okay, so then you would say I needed to adjust it. Okay, and I did. So this is with those rapid speed pellets, and again, so that I'm pretty happy with. I did get 3 misses, but how tight the group relatively is there, that's 1.5 inches. Again, for hitting a can, that's no problem. Okay, so 7 out of 10 would have hit that can. And it's just because of the nature of that trigger, just be patient. And the more patient you are with the trigger, using that marksman hold with this, pushing on the trigger guard into your forearm, or is that into your hand? That is not, yeah. Push on the trigger guard into your palm, and then get good at feeling the pressure build up on your finger to release that piston. Okay, so then the RS is my #1 recommendation for this. I did use other pellets, 7 grains, what you want, so pistol wadcutters. On this one, this is interesting. So 4 out of 5, and I stopped when I had that good of a grouping. That's with 7 grain wadcutters, and then these are master pellets by RWS, but they're 8 grain and they're too heavy. I saw this over and over, 30 shots, and they kept dropping. So try to keep your pellet weight around 7 grains. And then I'm going to conclude, so the mark for it, 7 measured yards. So you'll see it's favoring the right side a little bit. Yeah, yes, I noticed that. But only 1 bad wild shot, really. And so for putting the can right there, okay, there we go. An honest look at that would be 18 out of 20. So it looks like the ones that missed would be here and here. 18 out of 20 on the can. And again, so this is a great pistol. I would just really, if you're going to get it, I wouldn't say you get it because you want an awesome offhand shooter, but it is a lot of fun from a rest, and it's a beautiful air pistol and really easy to handle. See the advantage over the P17, but it is not quite competitive as a shooter with the P17. Okay, but it is a great gun, and I'm glad I got it. I can't stop shooting it. So I've gone through, I'm working on my second 10 of pellets, so that's got to say something. All right, well, thank you very much.